Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Kim with Kim's Inspired Life, and welcome to #BookTube Thursday, an open collaboration hosted by our two sweet friends, Patty at Life with Patty and Daphne at My Mountain Home and Kitchen. Two friends plus some others that I'm going to be seeing in just a couple of weeks. We have our YouTube meetup coming up in Yuba City, and I'm so excited. So today I'm going to be sharing this book by Elizabeth Strout, Anything is Possible. And this is not her first book. However, the reason why I chose this book is because I was looking through some book reviews and looking for a book to read, and Ann Patchett, who, if you've been on my channel, you know that I love Ann Patchett. She wrote a review of this book, and she really liked it. And she talked about the author's writing style and such. And so I thought, well, if Ann likes it, I'm probably going to like it. If she likes her writing style, which is maybe, similar to hers. And the storyline is about family, which I'll talk about in just a minute. Anything is Possible. I borrowed this from our library, the Fresno County Public Library. If you watched a previous video, you may remember me saying that I started listening to this book. Actually, I borrowed it as an audiobook, and then the audiobook ran up. It's like, I want to say it was maybe 11 hours or something. And so I didn't renew it on time, and there's just a backlog of people that want to borrow it. And then I happened to go to the library, and there it was on the shelf. So I just picked up where I left off on the audiobook. And then when we were recently in Santa Maria, we were out of town, there was a Friends of the Library inside the mall that we were at, which was so cool. And so I picked up this book, Elizabeth Strout, and my name is Lucy Barton. So this is the first book, and so I thought, well, I will read that. Even though I have other books, I really want to start The Nightingale. Just Donna Maria gave me The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and that's a longer book, and I really want to start that book, but I thought, maybe that'll be a November book for me. I'm going to be doing some writing as I'm talking to you about this book. So this novel is about people and lives and their lives, and I love those kinds of books that are about people and ordinary lives. And we all live different lives, and so to read a story about others, I think, for me anyway, is very interesting. And so it's kind of a quiet book. There's not things just blaring at you that that make you stop and just think about, oh my gosh, how could that have happened? It's kind of what I guess reviewers call a quiet book. So there's lots of characters in the book. The characters in the book are likable, and I like that too. And you can relate to the characters, I feel. And that's another thing I like. If I can think of the character and I can think of someone that I know that reminds me of that character, or if I can picture that character in my mind, that's important to me too as I read. And this book does all of that. So a little bit about the book. I'm not going to probably add in any spoilers or anything, so in case you want to read the book, which I highly suggest. The book takes place in Illinois, a town called Amgosh, I think. I didn't look it up to see if that was like a real town or where that is. And so apparently this hometown in Illinois is the same hometown of Lucy in the prior book. My name is Lucy Barton. So I think that's going to be interesting. When I start to read that book, I'll probably be able to draw some conclusions. When I was looking at the list of books, it didn't say, you need to read them in order. I do look for that to see am I supposed to be reading these books in some sort of order, and it didn't say you needed to. So, and from this book, I wouldn't think that you would need to, but and so there's not really one main character in this book. Each chapter talks about different people, but you can see from chapters 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 that the characters are interconnected, but they're short stories about people that live in this town. And so I like that. I like that because it was interesting. It kept you reading because you were interested to see, okay, now who are they going to bring up in the next chapter, and what are they going to have to do with the people that the author's already talked about. So these short stories are weaved together. Oh, plus I like short stories. So that's the other thing too. The stories are all, the people are all weaved together, and there's different themes like poverty, longing, shame, kindness, forgiveness. Those are all themes that, for the most part, we deal with and we have experienced in our life and in our lives. And so that's why I think that's another reason why that I like the book and I could relate to it too. So this community carries these hidden stories. There's these two characters and they keep saying, oh, did you know what happened to this family? And so there's this hidden kind of background about this family and what happened and why they were thought about, maybe the way they were. So I just really like this writing style. Ann Patchett was right. The writing style of this author, of Elizabeth Strout, is wonderful. She doesn't need to draw out. I like that when an author just she doesn't need to draw out any kind of long build up. She just says the topic, she just says what she wants to say, and then goes on to the next thing. And so in 2 sentences, you could just have this almost powerful dialogue, and you kind of like makes you stop and think like, okay, what just happened? What did she say? And so I like that. And the characters are real. Like I said, they're flawed, they're complex, they're not trying to put on airs, they're just regular old people. So if you're a reader who likes to, to read about characters like that, then I think that you would like this book. I read a couple of, I don't know if it was Goodreads or if it was maybe a video that I listened to, but a couple people said that they thought that the pacing of the book was slow and they felt like, there wasn't a huge plot or something just to grab onto. But for me, that's what I kind of liked about it. I like that, you're not waiting for the other shoe to drop. I mean, it's just, every story just kind of tells itself and every chapter just, is revealed what's there. And so it's really just, this book is more about emotions and human beings. And so it's not like fast action or so dramatic, and it's not that kind of a read. So anyway, I like this book. I like reading fiction and short stories and stories of ordinary people and heartbreak and love and loss. And so if you like that kind of book, and it's not a very long book either. I think it's 254 pages. So you'll like that. So anyway, there's my review for Elizabeth Strout's Anything is Possible. And I'm going to begin reading My Name is Lucy Barton probably tomorrow. Thank you to Patty and Daphne for hosting this. Definitely go and follow the hashtag and see what other people are sharing. I'm going to finish up this. So if you want to see the rest of what I'm doing right here, you can see the rest of that in an upcoming video. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.